My partner announced, "My previous boyfriend is coming over for our Christmas feast. Handle it like a grown-up." I simply nodded, sure. What she had no clue about was that I'd also welcomed her ex's engaged partner to the gathering. The dining setup transformed into an episode that nobody in my clan will ever let fade. I'm Derek, 29, and I've been wed to my spouse Vanessa for 3 full years. This Christmas was intended to echo the ones before it, my parents in charge of hosting, my sibling and her little one scampering everywhere, tasty dishes, the standard household mayhem. But just 2 weeks shy of the big day, Vanessa unleashed a shockwave that flipped the script entirely. It happened in the kitchen during a plain Tuesday night. I was whipping up some noodles, she was flicking through her gadget, and out of the blue, she declared, "By the way, I asked Marcus to tag along for Christmas dinner at your folks' house." I froze mid-stir. "Marcus? Your old beau? That Marcus?" "Yep," she said nonchalantly, eyes still glued to her screen. "He's hitting a tough patch and has no kin around here." Seemed like a thoughtful move. Let me fill you in on the backstory. Marcus was Vanessa's college romance. They were an item for 3 years, calling it quits about 6 months prior to her and me connecting. She's always sworn they're nothing more than buddies, and the end was on good terms. I've crossed paths with Marcus just twice, once at a grill out 2 years ago and once more at a charity bash last spring. On both counts, he was all manners, but there was this strange aura whenever he was near Vanessa, like they had secret chuckles I was left out of. "You asked your former flame to join my family's Christmas bash without running it by me?" I asked, word by careful word. She looked up then. "Derek, quit being paranoid. Marcus and I are pals, period. That's all. And before you jump in, yeah, I already looped in your mom, and she gave the green light." That bit really smarted. She'd looped in my mom ahead of discussing it with me. "When did you chat with my mom?" "Yesterday. I gave her a call to see if we could squeeze in one extra person and laid out the details. She was all for it." I felt my teeth grind. "Vanessa, that's missing the mark. You needed to clear it with me first. Bringing an ex to a family holiday feels off." "It only feels off if you turn it that way," she fired back, her edge sharpening. "Marcus is dealing with a split, and I'm just being a solid friend. I need you to step up and be adult about it." And there it landed. The whole "be adult about it" jab. Like I was some sulking kid instead of a husband blindsided by his wife's solo call on our holiday lineup. "Okay," I gave in. "He can join." She lit up with a grin. "I figured you'd see reason." I didn't see it at all. Not one bit. But I bobbed my head and got back to the noodles as my thoughts spun like mad. Later that night, after Vanessa hit the sack, I pulled off something I'm half ashamed of but zero sorry for. I snooped on her phone. Yeah, I get it. Privacy breach, trust shatter, the full rundown. But a nagging doubt was eating at me, and I had to test if my hunch was spot on. What turned up was uglier than I'd braced for. Vanessa and Marcus had been chatting non-stop, a bunch each day for the last couple months. No straight-up naughty stuff, but the vibe was far too cozy. Tons of private laughs, heaps of, "Hey, remember that," throwbacks, heaps of her griping about yours truly. One text from 3 weeks back set my veins on fire. "I crave how it used to be." Stuff felt easier. Her comeback? Totally. I catch myself thinking, what if we'd pushed more? I snapped pics, shot them over to my phone, wiped any signs I'd been there. Next morning, I poked around more. Turns out Marcus hadn't split from anyone lately. He'd gotten hitched to be 4 months back. Tracking down his fiancée's Insta was a breeze. Claire was her name, and she came off as sweet. Piles of shots showed her and Marcus on hikes, at eateries, beaming bliss. Even one from Thanksgiving tagged, "So thankful for this guy and what's coming next." So Vanessa had straight up fibbed. Marcus wasn't in any mess. And if Claire was clueless, her future hubby was carving out Christmas with his old girlfriend, that felt like intel she had every right to. I whipped up a throwaway Insta handle and slid Claire a DM, keeping it short and straight. Hi Claire, stranger here, but I'm hitched to Marcus's ex Vanessa. She's got him slotted for our family Christmas, figured you should know based on your pics, you two look locked in. Chat if you want, number attached. She hit back in less than an hour. We hopped to texts. She had zero hint Marcus was parking Christmas with Vanessa. Actually, he'd spun her a tale about a coworker bash. Claire was rattled but owed me big for the heads up. We talked near 30 minutes, and by wrap-up, I'd looped her into our Christmas spread. You positive? She wondered. Won't it get messy? Bet it will, I owned up. But I'm done with the fibs, and I reckon we both need the real deal laid bare. She was in. The week after played out ordinary on top. Vanessa yapped about Yuletide setups, what sides we'd haul, if we ought to swap presents with Marcus. That last one nearly cracked me up. I just went along with nods, channeling the steady hubby she pictured. Christmas Eve had Vanessa buzzing. She kept pinging Marcus on times and setups. I caught her on the line with him that night, locking in his 2 p.m. drop at my parents'. She was near bubbling over. Christmas daybreak, we did gifts at our spot before rolling to my folks'. Vanessa hooked me a wristwatch I'd eyed way back. I handed her a chain. We flashed smiles, smooched, acted like all was golden. We pulled up at my parents' around 1 p.m. Mom had outdone herself, whole bird platter, 3 potato kinds, string beans, buns, desserts galore. Dad was glued to the game. Sis Lauren was corralling her duo of tots. It hit that cozy, everyday vibe, and I almost second-guessed my plan. Almost. Marcus rolled in at 2:15, toting booze and a charm offensive that hooked Mom right off. Vanessa sparked alive at his sight, pulled him into a squeeze that dragged 3 beats too far. I gripped his hand solid, cracked a smile, and dropped, glad you're here, buddy. Thanks for the spot, he said. Means a lot. We hunkered in the den. Marcus slotted in easy, cracking up at Dad's lines, quizzing Lauren on the kiddos. Vanessa kept scheming ways to park by him, to brush his sleeve on a giggle. I took it all in with a chill I wasn't packing inside. At 2:45, the bell dinged. On it, I piped, popping up fast. Door swung open to Claire in a scarlet top, gripping a wine bottle, nerves on but steel too. Derek, right? She said. Claire, I welcomed easy. Stoked you made it. Inside. I guided her to the den. Boom, the fallout hit. Vanessa drained of color. Marcus bolted upright, dumping his brew. Claire, he croaked, voice splintering. Why re you here? Got the invite, she said steady, nodding my way. Derek looped me in nice after hearing you'd carve Christmas with your ex. The air went dead quiet. Mom wore a puzzled frown. Dad killed the screen sound. Lauren's stare ballooned. Derek, Vanessa drawled low, getting to her feet. What's this? Meet Claire, I said light. Marcus's fiancée. Marcus, reckon you skipped telling Claire about your Vanessa Christmas. Vanessa, reckon you skipped telling me about Marcus's ring. So I figured group hang for the holiday. You know, be adult about it. I threw her line back, word for word. Marcus looked primed to melt through the rug. Claire, hear me out. Out what? She pressed, voice wobbling. Out why you fed me the work party yarn. Out why you're holding up Christmas with your ex and her crew, no word to me. Out why Derek's the truth dropper. Ain't what it looks, Marcus kicked off. So what's it look? She snapped. Vanessa wheeled on me, cheeks blazing. Derek, you're nuts. You dragged his fiancée to shame me? Dragged her, 'cause she earned the scoop on her man's spot. I kept cool. Same as I earned the scoop on your X-Text marathon and your miss the old days slips. Her flush flipped to ghost white. You rifled my phone? Yup, I owned. And dug up a goldmine of chats. Want the group read aloud? Mom piped up then. What the heck's unfolding? Lauren was taping it all on her phone. I let her roll. Marcus edged toward Claire. Sweetie, please, let me clear it. Vanessa's just a friend. She was in a funk, needed a lift. I was in zero funk, Vanessa bit at him. What's that crap? And poof, their tails tanked. Marcus pitched Vanessa's heart support need. Vanessa pitched Marcus's hard knock tail. No pieces fit their spins. They'd both spun yarns, and the jig was up. Claire eyed Marcus pure scorn. It's over. Stone over. No home tonight, no rings. Roll box your gear. She turned my way. Huge thanks for the alert. Sorry to crash your kin's Christmas, but truth's a gift. Stick for eats if you like, Mom said soft. And man, I adored her then. Claire passed. Gonna bail for some air. But thanks. Out she went. Marcus hung statue still a sec, snagged his jacket, tailed her silent. Door clicked shut. Vanessa locked eyes with me, fury mashed with shame. I want out, I beat her to it. Lawyers on deck. Crash at your sis's till we sort pads. Derek, she tried. Nope, I cut. You hauled your ex to my kin's Christmas. You bullshitted the why. You've been heart-cheating months on end. You gaslit my gut check. So nope, we're toast. She scanned the room, parents, Lauren, the holiday spread now trashed beyond fix. And I saw it hit, no backup crew. She snagged her bag and bailed wordless. Update 1. Christmas eats dragged awkward, but we powered through. Mom kept sorry Angie for not grilling Vanessa harder on the Marcus ad. Dad called my play solid. Lauren spilled the clip was zipping our big family thread, all rooting my corner. I crashed at parents that night. Vanessa blasted 17 texts, raged to sorry to beg. I hit back once, hit my lawyer. Next day, I swung back to our pad with Dad and bro-in-law for basics haul. Vanessa ghosted, but left a scrawl on the counter. Sorry. Never aimed for this mess. Can we hash? I binned it. Update 2. A week on, lawyer meet. I'd stashed the phone snaps, which counsel flagged as ammo. Plus proofs I'd covered most joint tabs, key for split math. Vanessa bunked at her sis's. She worked pals as go-betweens, pushing for round 2. Bulk of our circle backed me once the tail dropped. Couple called the holiday trap overkill, but whatever, noise. Claire pinged me days after the eve. Thanks Redux, engagement axed confirmed. She said Marcus swore no body stuff with Vanessa, but Soulstray was dealbreaker. She'd sidestepped a wreck, me too. Marcus blew a fuse post-dump, word from shared buds. He pinned Vanessa for torching his thing, she pinned him for nuking hers. Spot on both counts. Final update. 2 months from Christmas ticked by. Splits cruising clean, Vanessa's no-fight mode. Bet shames her accelerator. Flipping the pad, carving assets 60 to 40 my way on my payload. Bunking parents scouting fresh digs. It's clicked nice. Stacks of family feeds, sis game nights, chill headspace to unpack. Vanessa emailed a novel last week. Full sorry sweep. Owned the fog and crap calls, no flesh cheat but gets the stab feel. Floated future friendzone. Ghosted it. Someday vibe might shift, but now? Clean breaks the vibe. Claire and I grabbed brew last week. No sparks, just twin wrecks swapping war stories. She's solid, therapy dive, self-first grind. Thanks repeat for the ping, says quiet might have locked her to an ex-prior picker. Me? Hanging in. Rougher days sneak. Pine the wedded hum but skip the no-respect version. Fam ribs I owned Christmas, and nah, they ain't off. That table blowout's legend bound. Mom's ruling, next Yule, my guest stamp, edit 1. Folks probe if holiday truth bomb regrets hit. Real talk? Zip. They picked lies and shadows. I picked the spotlight hour. No fam flush wish. Skip the flush-worthy plays. Edit 2. Lauren's clip skipped megabuzz but flooded wide kin and bud nets. Vanessa's wrecked. Marcus nuked his feeds whole. Claire's Insta screams peak glow. Edit 3. Dad's chaos quip query. After Vanessa bounced, he sidled up, clapped my back, dropped, kid, that's our wildest Christmas ever. Nailed it. Dad speak for epic props. Cheers for the watch.